What is happening, AJ Gamer Dude here? And I wonder, quick question to everyone out there, but do you guys use autoplay in games that have them? Because not every game has an autoplay mode, but there are some games that do. And I myself do take advantage of that mode. Because usually, like say for example, if that game requires a decent amount of grinding, I will put autoplay mode on. For example, something like Honkai Star Rail, for example, only managed to the only reason I even started playing that game was because it had an autoplay mode. That way, all I had to do was build a really good team, understand some of the mechanics of the game, and then start putting together teams with their skills, leveling them up, and doing stuff like that. But all of the battling would actually be done through autoplay, and autoplay usually works really, really well. I liked using autoplay in Gems of War when they introduced that, much like 6 years after the game launched. And it was great for grinding gold and gems and other types of resources in the game. Like, it was great. However, you can't use autoplay everywhere in the game that do have autoplay. So like, say for example, Gems of War, you can't do it in PvP. You need to actually be playing and things like that. Whereas I'm playing Puzzle Quest 3 at the moment. I've just hit level 50 and I am going to be booting up that game when I have earned all the achievements in Puzzle Quest 3 on Steam, so that I can boot that up on PlayStation and earn all the trophies and stuff like that. But also the exact same idea applies. I would never have started playing this game had I not known that there was going to be an autoplay mode that would unlock after you hit level 8. Had I not known about that, I probably wouldn't have played it. So I do make use of autoplay, but usually autoplay is happening in the background while I'm playing a completely different game. So let me know if you guys actually make use of that mode. But this is an interesting thing to know about, that Sony is going to be patents an autoplay game mode. Now, Sony has made a lot of patents, about, say, for example, when you're sweating while playing a game, or having a little toy buddy thing that could sit next to you and talk to you while you're playing, for example. These are all neat ideas that could work in different ways. I suppose it really just depends on, like, when you're getting really sweating while playing a horror game, how does the vibrations change on your controller and things like that. So I do wonder how stuff like that could be implemented, and these are some interesting ideas. But when I read this, I thought this was actually kind of interesting, because it's something that will definitely affect me in the way I play games, because that means I'll try and be playing more games at the same time if I have more things running in the background that are just kind of auto-playing themselves. And so I just sat down, thought about it for a moment, and I thought, okay, this is neat to an extent, as long as it's not something that can be easily abusable, because there are many types of games that don't, there's a good reason why only some games have autoplay modes and not all of them. Match 3 puzzle games, turn-based RPGs, that is where autoplay does make much more sense than, say, for example, something like Super Meat Boy. I don't think that a side-scrolling platformer that is as fast and insane as that would actually have it. Though instead, this is actually referring more so to first-party Sony titles, which I have not really played any first-party Sony title that's released after 2017, except for Last of Us Part 2. But that was because I really liked Last of Us, and I really did not like Part 2, so I digress. I just thought that this was like an interesting thing to see, because I've not seen anyone report on this particular article that I'm reading from Game Ranks, I think it was? Game Rant, yeah, there we go. So I thought that was actually quite interesting to see. Oh, and it's also AI powered as well. So it could be an interesting thing, but again, we've seen a lot of patents still. Yeah, we're still seeing a lot of patents being made by Sony, but not a lot of action being done in regards to it. Even so, this is just a nice thing to talk about that we've got going on. But the idea is kind of here, so. Grinding autoplay notification. Okay. Game logic, starts 8 to start session. Okay, yeah, this diagram is definitely going over my head. But the train model would use, okay, so they're training it off of AI, which after using AI, that kind of makes sense, but for games that are too long and full of grinding, they could potentially be used to skip these sections. Yes, full of grinding would certainly be a reason why you'd want to use autoplay, so that you can play something else that's even better at the same time. I don't think there's really much more that's really kind of relevant to talk about in here. But yeah, like I said, they do a lot of patents, and really not a lot of them, if any at all, have really been kind of actioned upon, that have been reported on in the news as articles and things like that we can read here. But I just thought it was interesting to mention and talk about, because it just so happens to, like, you know, pop up, and I was like, I wonder what that would actually look like. Say, for example, if I was playing a God of War, or if I was playing Horizon, you know, Zero Dawn. For some reason, I'd want to have autoplay on. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about all of that in the comments below. Like the video, you liked it, subscribe to the channel. I'm aiming for 200 subs by the end of the year. With all that said and done, I do upload every day, so I'll see you guys tomorrow.